Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. What would you do if the one person who knew your darkest secret suddenly walked back into life and threatened to expose everything? In the quiet coastal town of Maplewood, Shanice Carter has spent 10 years building a perfect life and a spotless reputation. But when her long missing star, Monica, suddenly reappears, she brings with her a dangerous reminder of the past. One that could destroy Shani's relationship, her business, and the life she fought so hard to create. For a full decade, Shanice Carter had done everything right. She carefully crafted a life that looked almost flawless from the outside. In the peaceful seaside town of Maplewood, she had become someone people admired. She owned Serenity Springs Spa, a popular wellness center downtown that locals loved visiting whenever they needed a moment of peace. The place smelled of calming oils and soft candles, and the atmosphere felt like an escape from everyday stress. Beyond her business success, Shanice had also become known around town as someone kind and trustworthy. At community events, she was always warm, always smiling politely, always offering help whenever someone needed it. People in Maplewood didn't just like Shanice, they respected her. Many even described her as one of the most dependable people in town. But all of that admiration was built on something fragile, because the woman everyone thought they knew was hiding something. For 10 long years, Shanice had carefully buried a secret so dangerous that if it ever surfaced, it would shatter everything she had built. The spa, the house by the bay, the friendships, and the love she had finally found, every bit of it could vanish in an instant. And the person who knew that secret better than anyone had just returned. It started on what seemed like an ordinary morning. Shani stood behind the reception desk at Serenity Springs Spa, reviewing the day's appointments and making sure everything was ready before the first clients arrived. The room was quiet except for the soft background music and the gentle hum of the ocean breeze outside. Then the doorbell chimed. Shanice looked up automatically, ready to greet another customer with her usual warm smile. But the moment she saw who was standing in the doorway, that smile disappeared completely. The woman standing there was someone she hadn't seen in 8 years, Monica Carter, her older sister. Monica stood just inside the entrance, wearing a long dark coat, the cane that seemed to swallow the light around it. Her posture was confident, almost relaxed, but her sharp eyes moved around the room as if she were studying everything. She looked almost exactly the same as Shanice remembered, bold, fearless, and unpredictable. Seeing her there made Shanice feel like all the air had been pulled from the room. Monica, Shanice whispered, barely able to get the name out. The two sisters stared at each other across the sparse, polished wooden floor. Years of silence sat heavily between them. Monica slowly closed the door behind her, then gave a smile that looked friendly on the surface but carried absolutely no warmth. Well, Monica said casually, aren't you going to hug your big sister? Shani stepped forward carefully, every nerve in her body on edge. She never expected to see Monica again. In fact, she had spent years hoping she never would. Why are you here? Shanice asked quietly. Monica tilted her head as if the question amused her. That's how we greet family, she replied. Shanice's voice hardened. You disappeared for almost 10 years. People don't just show up after that without a reason. Monica let out a quiet laugh and began strolling around the spa like she was touring a museum. She examined the decor, the soft lighting, the peaceful design that Shanice had spent years perfecting. Impressive, Monica said as she ran her fingers along the counter. You really managed to reinvent yourself. Turn her eyes landed on a framed newspaper article hanging proudly on the wall. The headline celebrated Shanice as a successful local entrepreneur who had opened a wellness center for the community. Monica smirked. Wow, she said slowly. You are basically a local hero. Shanice's voice dropped into a warning tone. What do you want, Monica? For a moment, Monica didn't answer. Instead, she leaned against the counter and crossed her arms. I heard you were living here, she said casually. I figured I would come to see it for myself. And? And I'm impressed, Monica said. Then her gaze sharpened. But I wonder something. Shanice felt a knot forming in her stomach. What? Monica's voice turned quiet and dangerous. I wonder if the good people of Maplewood would still admire you, if they knew the truth. The words hit Shanice like ice water. Don't start, she said firmly. Monica's lips curved slightly. Oh, I already did. Scents filled the room. Outside, cars moved along the street, and distant waves rolled against the shoreline. But inside the spa, the air felt heavy with tension. Shanice lowered her voice. You promised we'd never talk about that again. Monica's expression hardened immediately. I promised nothing. Shanice stepped closer. You said we'd move on. I tried. Monica replied calmly, but life has a funny way of bringing unfinished business back. Shani studied her sister carefully. What happened? She asked cautiously. Monica shrugged as though the answer didn't matter. Let's just say things didn't go according to plan. That's not my problem, Shani said sharply. Monica's smile faded. Oh, but it might become your problem. Shani's heartbeat started racing. What does that mean? Before Monica could answer, the spa door chimed again. A tall man walked inside wearing a navy suit and carrying himself with quiet confidence. The friendly smile on his face instantly changed the tense atmosphere. Hey, Shanice, he greeted warmly. It was Daniel Brooks. In Maplewood, Daniel was known for two things. He was the town's assistant district attorney and he was Shanice's boyfriend. But Daniel stopped mid-step when he noticed Monica standing there. Oh, he said politely, I didn't realize you had company. Shanice forced a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Daniel, this is my sister, Monica. Daniel extended his hand. Nice to meet you. Monica shook it while studying him carefully, her sharply eyes taking in every detail. Daniel Brooks, she said thoughtfully, assistant district attorney. Daniel blinked in surprise. You have heard of me? Monica smiled in the mysterious way again. Let's just say I like to stay informed. The comment made Shanice uneasy. Monica had always been observant, always paying attention to things most people missed. That was one of the most reasons she had always been so dangerous. Daniel looked between the two sisters. Well, I didn't mean to interrupt anything. I just came by to grab lunch with Shanice. Monica stepped aside with an easy gesture. Don't let me stop you. Daniel turned to Shanice. You ready? Shanice hesitated. Her mind was racing. Actually, maybe later. Daniel frowned slightly. Everything okay? Yeah, Shanice replied quickly. My sister and I have some catching up to do. Daniel nodded slowly. All right, call me later. As he left the spa, Monica watched him through the window until he disappeared down the street. Then she turned back to Shanice with an amused expression. Well, she said, that was interesting. Shanice crossed her arms. Stay away from him. Monica raised an eyebrow. Protective, aren't we? You don't know him. Monica leaned closer, lowering her voice. Oh, I know exactly who he is. Shanice's heart skipped. What do you mean? Monica whispered slowly. An assistant district attorney dating a woman with a past like yours. She smiled. That's a pretty big secret to keep. Shanice grabbed Monica's arm instinctively. You can't tell him. Monica looked down at the hand gripping her sleeve. Relax. Shanice quickly let go. Monica walked toward the door. I'm not here to ruin your life. Shanice exhaled with relief. But the relief didn't last. Monica paused at the door and looked back. Not yet, anyway. The tension returned instantly. What do you want? Shanice asked again. Monica stepped closer once more. Simple, she said. I need your help. With what? Monica's expression grew serious. Fixing a problem. Shanice shook her head immediately. No, whatever it is, I'm not getting involved. Monica sighed. That's unfortunate. Why? Monica's voice turned cold. Because if you don't help me, I might have to tell Daniel about what really happened 10 years ago. Shanice froze. In an instant, memories she had tried to bury for years came rushing back. The night, the accident, the lie that followed, a lie that changed both their lives forever. Monica, Shanice whispered, panic creeping into her voice. You wouldn't. Monica stared right into her eyes. Try me. Outside, dark clouds began rolling in from the ocean. The sky over Maplewood grew darker as the first drops of rain started falling. Inside Serenity Spring Spa, Shanice Carter realized something terrifying. Her past had finally come back to haunt her, and the person holding the power to destroy her life was her own sister. Later that afternoon, after Monica left, Shanice remained alone in the quiet spa lobby. Rain tapped gently against the windows as she stared at the glass door where her sister had walked out. Her reflection in the glass looked pale and shaken, nothing like the confident woman everyone believed her to be. For 10 years, she had hidden the truth. 10 years of silence. 10 years pretending nothing had ever happened. And now Monica had returned, threatening to tear it all apart. Across town, Monica Carter walked down Maplewood's main street as though she were just another visitor enjoying the seaside town. Rain drizzled softly onto the sidewalks, reflecting the glow of street lamps beginning to turn on. But Monica wasn't sightseeing. She was planning. Her mind replayed the look of fear on Shani's face when the past was mentioned. That reaction told Monica exactly what she needed to know. Shani still had everything to lose, and that meant she could be controlled. Monica stepped into a small cafe on the corner and ordered a coffee. Sitting near the window, she watched people out passing by outside. Maplewood looked perfect. Friendly neighbors, peaceful streets, happy families, the kind of town where nobody expected secrets. Monica slowly stirred her coffee. If they only knew. Back at the spa, Shanice eventually closed early that evening, telling clients she wasn't feeling well. The truth was her mind was moving too fast for her to focus on work. She drove home through the rain with tight hands on the steering wheel, unquestioned, repeating in her mind again and again, what does Monica want? Growing up, Monica had always been the bold one, the rule breaker, the sister who chased danger while Shanice tried to keep things safe and orderly. But 10 years ago, something happened that changed everything. Something that forced them to share a terrible secret. A secret that could now destroy Shanice's life. When Shanice pulled into her driveway, she noticed something unexpected. Another car was already parked there. Daniel's car. She sighed quietly. She had forgotten she promised to call him. Daniel stepped out onto the porch as she approached, pulling his jacket tight against the rain. "You closed early," he said gently. Shanice tried to smile. "Just a long day." Daniel studied her face carefully. Years working as an attorney had made him very good at reading people. And right now, Shanice looked worried. "Does this have something to do with your sister?" he asked. Shanice froze slightly. "How did you know?" "It looked like you saw a ghost when she walked into the spa." They stepped inside the house as thunder rolled across the sky outside. Daniel hung his jacket by the door and turned back toward her. "So?" he said calmly. "Tell me about Monica." Shanice hesitated. How could she explain her sister without revealing too much? "She's complicated," Shanice finally said. Daniel chuckled softly. This situation is far more dangerous than a simple family reunion. Monica's return threatens to destroy everything Shanice has built in Maplewood. Her reputation, her business, and her relationship with Daniel all depend on the secret staying buried. But now, the stakes are even higher. Daniel isn't just Shanice's boyfriend, he's the assistant district attorney. If he ever learns the truth about what happened 10 years ago, the consequences could be devastating both legally and personally. Monica clearly understands this power dynamic. She knows Shanice is trapped between protecting her life in Maplewood and helping her sister with whatever mysterious problem she's trying to fix. That kind of leverage makes Monica extremely dangerous, and the fact that the story keeps hinting at an accident and lie from the past suggests that if whatever happened back then was serious enough to ruin lives if it ever came to light. Honestly, this kind of story is gripping because it taps into something very real, the fear that no matter how far we run from our past, it eventually catches up with us. Shani spent 10 years building a life that looked perfect, but secrets have a way of launching beneath the surface. And when the one person who knows that secret decides to use it as leverage, suddenly the life you've built starts to feel incredibly fragile. What makes this situation especially intense is that Monica doesn't seem chaotic. She seems calculated. She knows exactly what buttons to push, exactly how much pressure to apply, and exactly how to keep Shani trapped. That's the kind of psychological tension that makes a story impossible to look away from. Now, the big question is this: what really happened 10 years ago? And how far will Shanice go to keep it hidden? Will she give in to Monica's demands to protect her life in Maplewood, or will the truth finally come out and destroy everything she's built? I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think Shanice and Monica are hiding from that night in the past? And do you think Daniel will eventually discover the truth? Drop your theories in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next twist in this mystery.